Oh, I like this concept. I've never ever played pot limit before the flop and no limit after the flop. This is the first time, and I really like it. I think it's a great concept, and I've enjoyed it, and I think that this is going to be one of the more popular TV shows.
Doyle may love the concept, but it didn't exactly work out for him on the last hand.
Well, let's hear what our loose cannon has to say about doubling through a legend. He's with Amanda.
Well, you just doubled up. What was going through your mind in that hand, especially on the river?
Please don't bring a diamond. You know, it's funny, the one guy I said I didn't want to mess with was Doyle, and then, of course, I have to end up in a big coin flip with him.
Yeah,
so.
you get right in there and mess with him.
I had no choice at that point, so.
All right, we'll get back to the table.
Thank you.
Well, even though Doyle just took a hit, he is still atop the leaderboard. But the big news here is that Will Davis is finally working with a profit.
We've seen Will play with a deficit. Now let's see how he plays with some money in his pocket.
And as you can see, Will is now less than $40,000 away from taking the lead away from last week's loose cannon, Ernest Wiggins.
And remember, if Will has any profit after playing 150 hands, he'll have to decide whether to keep the money or to come back and risk it all and play another week.
Action starts up again with David Williams. He folds.
Well, we got Daniel's room running now.
The loose cannon.
Fold.
Out of here.
Daniel's room.
Abe. Jack 7 suited, raises to 1,200. Calacanis, ace 10 offsuit, makes the call. Daniel, suited connectors. He's in.
I'll gamble with you. See? There you go.
You know, scared you with that. We're not going to invite you back anymore.
Yeah, that was it.
Doyle, 8-5 offsuit.
You want to do?
Thinking about defending his big blind, and he does.
Doyle looked like he was going to do a pose.
I wanted to just push it all in, is what I wanted to do.
We protect against these maniacs by...
4 players to the flop.
All poker tournaments should be pot limit, too.
Before the flop?
Or the whole way.
Whole way.
9 deuce 4.
Everyone misses.
Daniel checks. Doyle checks. Abe checks. Jason checks. 5 of hearts on the turn.
Doyle's made a pair.
Daniel with an up and down straight draw. Checks. Doyle, that's 3,500. Abe folds. Jason folds. Daniel folds.
Daniel was trying to freeze the bet by...
No, I had a straight draw.
A gutter? See, that's...
No, I had open and straight draw.
You had 6-8?
6-7 of spades, buddy. And I was thinking, should I bet? And I was like, no. I'll let you bet, Abe, and I'll check raise you.
I wasn't going to bet.
What kind of car do you drive?
I just bought a new one, the 07 Accord.
Nice.
Yeah. Once you get married, you're not allowed to buy cool things anymore.
It's practical. Accord is like the most
Amen.
practical car.
Abe raises to 1,200. Jason folds. Daniel out. Doyle's out. David Williams defends.
You drive a Range Rover, like Land Rover, or a Porsche?
I have a hybrid SUV Lexus.
Daniel's also a vegan. He drives green and eats green.
King, ace, queen on the flop. Goes check, check. The turn, 10 of clubs.
Abe's now got 2 pair.
Williams with a flush draw. Makes a bet of 2,000. Abe calls.
This isn't a great board for Abe, but he's probably not going to lay down 2 pair to just 1 bet.
7 of hearts on the river.
Bluffing chips.
Williams throws out 8,800 of them.
This is an overbet from David. Abe can't really like it. There's a lot out there that beats him. A jack, a flush, a better 2 pair. This would be a tough call.
Makes the call.
Flush.
Liar.
Looks like a 9 high flush.
Shh, wait, come on, man. He might block.
I hear you.
He might just look at it and
See,
muck.
that's the way you play a missed flush draw. Give it your all. Say flush.
Confidence.
What would you have done if you mucked his hand?
Taking the pot. He's a professional if he wants to mug his hand.
Oh, yeah.
He might not have beat the 9.
He's a big boy.
Nice pot for Abe.
Let's go.
You really wouldn't have taken that pot if I was mucking my hand, would you?
If you insta-muck...
Because he miscalled his hand. If you just turn it up...
No, I understand. If you insta-muck, no, I wouldn't have taken it. But once you stared at the 9-4 of clubs for a while, and then if you mucked, at that point, once you stared at it forever...
I was trying to see...
If you had immediately just threw your hand in, I would have gave you the pot.
Once you miscall your hand, you lose.
Yeah, if you would have just turned it up, then I think you can take the pot 100% of the time.
Oh, you know the Jennifer story.
That's Jennifer Harmon.
Mine and Jennifer's story. You don't know that?
Which one? Oh, she got mad at you or something?
Mad? She said she was playing triple draw. I caught, we both drew. I had a 10, caught a 10. I checked, she bet. I called it. She spread her hand. The dealer said 7. I threw my hand away. Jennifer, you got 2 deuces. Who gets the pot?
Doyle still sounds bitter.
Who gets the pot?
The pot, who gets
I know
it?
in single draw low ball, it used to be that the pair loses. But I think in triple draw, you mucked your hand without, I don't know, I think your hand is unretrievable.
They finally gave her the pot.
Yeah.
And that's what I told her. She said, I would never take a shot, and I did. I told you, you'd steal the nickels off a dead man's eyes, Jennifer.
Remind me to never leave my wallet around Jennifer Harmon.
You steal the nickels off a dead man's eyes.
And she finally came and gave it to me.
We have a raiser and a caller, Mosseri and Calacanis. 7-6 jack, 2 diamonds. Check by Mosseri. Calacanis bets 2,000 with a flush draw.
Calacanis semi-bluffs.
All right.
Mosseri fully bluffs.
To 6,000, Calacanis calls.
Calacanis is drawing to the nut flush.
Ace of spades on the turn. Top pair for Calacanis. Abe fires 9,000 at the pot.
Abe bluffs again. Jason's not going anywhere now with top pair and a flush draw.
The river card, 8 of clubs, giving Calacanis 2 pair. Mosseri checks. Calacanis bets 8,000. And Abe folds.
2 pair didn't matter. Abe had given up anyway.
So the self-proclaimed CEO of poker increases his portfolio, but he is still over 100 grand in the red. We're back with more after this. We are halfway home on the big game as we take a look at our leaderboard. Doyle Brunson and internet entrepreneur Jason Calacanis are at opposite ends of the spectrum. And our loose cannon, Will Davis, he gets to keep any profits. He is currently up $11,000. Once again, alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. And Joe, throughout our series, we'll take an opportunity to look at some of the stats for our game. And even though the sample size is very small, I want to know what's catching your eye.
Chris, I always find it interesting to see who likes to get in there and play a lot of hands. The best way to measure that is to take a look at the VPIP, which measures just how often a player willingly gets involved pre-flop. As you can see, everybody is relatively even except for unimposing little Abe Mosseri, who's quietly played almost half the hands that were dealt. Interestingly, even though Abe is getting involved so much, he's yet to 3-bet even once, which means he's not taking full control of some of these pots and is probably getting in there with a lot of marginal hands.
I find it really interesting, Joe, that the loose cannon is second at the table for 3-bet percentage. To me, that means he's not afraid to mix it up.
Chris, I've actually been really impressed so far this week with Will's ability to withstand the heat from some of the best players in the world. Taking a look at his stats up against the rest of the table, we can see he's not scared. His pre-flop raising percentage is second at the table. He's raising his button 2/3 of the time, and he's not just lying down after raising, he's continuation betting 83% of the time. Intimidation is a big weapon for these guys, and Will's firing right back at them. It's no surprise he's hanging in there.
Even though we're just 75 hands in at this point, it will be interesting to see if these trends continue or if they change throughout the rest of the game. One other storyline this week, Doyle Brunson's gotten hit in the head with the deck. We've seen